Hey guys, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please put a message on the chat box so I can know you can hear me, and now we can start. Yeah, sorry about that. My keyboard is kind of like this kind of keyboard. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's kind of annoying when I'm typing. So maybe I can change. I don't have another keyboard here, so maybe I change next term. But let's just bear with it because I like the keyboard. It's just make me feel really good when I'm typing. And let's see what we did last week. In last week, and by the way, you guys know this is the last lesson for this term, and today we are going to learn something called class in Python. So last week we are working on the this question. Just two frogs, they are jumping out from the well, but they kind of like they jump the speed like when in the daytime they jump free, like the first frog in the daytime they jump 3 meters and slip down. When at nighttime they will drop 2 meters. So every day they just keep jumping and jumping, and who is going to jump out from the well first? So that is the question we had last week. So basically what we did is we defined two frog with with a dictionary. So in the dictionary we can keep the position of the frog, and so we can use one function to do the calculation, and then we can get the answer. So it's not that hard as long as you know why we can use a dictionary to do this job. Of course, you can use math to do it, and you use one formula and then you can get the answer. And the reason we use the dictionary because I want you guys to do more practice and using Python dictionary. But today we are going to learn something called Python class. So what Python class means, so I'm going to show you. So first, let's just bring our repair it. Where's my repair it? So here we go. So you go repair it. Okay. Yeah. If you don't have repair it, I will copy the link for you. And they changed a lot, but that's okay. So you can go repair it if you don't have PyCharm, but I use PyCharm. Okay. So I have PyCharm. Okay, that's the one I want. And also we go to the website called W Free Schools. Even this class is N, and you still can learn from the wfreeschools.com because there are a whole bunch of tutorial in this website. And the other way, there's some tutorial in called tutorial point, or you can go tutorialpoints.com, and you can also learn from this website. There's a whole bunch of website you can do, but I like wfreeschools.com because it's kind of like my style. So we already learned the a dictionary. So today we are going to learn class. A class. Okay. So let me see my. Yeah, here we go. So I have a PyCharm here. I'm going to create a new file. So every time I will click on any of the file and then right click, and you go new and choose Python file. So learn class. Okay, learn class. And in here you can go directly to your repo and you do your code in here if you don't have PyCharm. But I would suggest you to have the PyCharm to running. So let's just review what is the class. Before we go with the class, we should talk about the dictionary. So we learned dictionary in the in last week, right? So if there is a dictionary, you can, for example, my dictionary. Okay, you have a variable, you want to have a dictionary, and you use a brace, and this kind of brace. So you have a brace, and now you put the item inside this dictionary. So basically, you put something like you put a key, like for example, last week we learned the floor, and you can have the star position. So like 10 meters, and jump, and you can jump 2 meters every time. And you can say my fox color is green, and also you might have the size. So size is big. Let's say it's big. Something like that. That is the dictionary. And when you learn the array, so you have the array, my array, and you use a bracket to put a whole bunch of item here. Like for example, I have a banana, apple, or fruit, orange, something like that. So you see, in the my array, basically they put the whole bunch of items and separate them with the comments and wrap them with bracket. So that's called an list or array. So let me just change to list, because in Python they said it's list. So it's a list. In the dictionary, each item is like they also separate by the commas, but they have the key and the value, the key and the value. All right. So if we want to access each item, like banana, so you will use the index. So it's my list and index 0. So 0 will get the banana, and 1 will get apple, and 2 will get orange. In the my dictionary, so if you want to get 10, so you have to do my dictionary, but you use a bracket to get, and the key, now you will get 10, get this 10. And if you want to get the 2, and you have to use the key jump. And you will see that we always just have the value inside. And we also learn something called function. So if you want to define a function like print dot, let's just create a function called print dot. So if you want to create a function, so you have df print dot, it's just a name, whatever name you want, or maybe just dot. Okay, and you have a parenthesis here, and you can put some parameter like just number. And now here you can print, and you can have a dot multiple by number. Okay, so if you're calling this dot function and you have to pass a parameter, like I want 99 dogs, so it will print 99 dogs. Okay, so let me just run it, and I will print this one also. And you don't have to do that, and I just explain to you how come we have the class. So we have list, we have dictionary, and we have a function. So let's just print it. Oopsie, I guess I am not printing this guy. So I just choose menu and run learn class, and now you can run it. And now you have the first one is banana, and the second one is 10, which is right. And now you have the dot, and you call the function called dot, and you print a whole bunch of dot. So for the class, it's kind of like you can, well, class in Python is a class, and this class you can put the this kind of style. You can put the key and value, and also you can put the function inside a class. So you know what I mean? So for the dictionary, you can have the key and value. For the class, you can have we call properties, but and you can also put the function into the class. So I'm going to remove this, and I will do the first class with you. So let's just go back to W3 schools and see what's the class. So let's just define our first class. So, to define a class in Python, of course, you need a keyword called class. And now you have you give it a name, like for example here is my class. So let me just create a class called phone. Okay, just a name, phone. But we always have the name, the first character is uppercase. Okay, it's uppercase. And now in here you do just like in the function, you do column. Okay, now in the class here you would do like in my phone. Let's say my phone has what I got the phone, a ringtone. Okay, a ringtone equal to a ringtone is equal to what's my ringtone? Just like piano. Okay, the ringtone is piano. Okay. Something like that. So it's a ringtone like piano. Okay. So but for the class, it doesn't come with like this. I'll show you. It doesn't come with like the dictionary. In the dictionary, you may be thinking, oh, phone and ringtone. So you can get the value of piano, right? That is for the dictionary. But in the class, you have to because it's a class, we have to initialize it. We call initialize or instance. So let me do it. Just do it for you. So let's just create an iPhone, a variable called iPhone. And now I use this phone, and I will create an iPhone. So now you have a phone, you create an iPhone. And now if you want to get to the piano, so what you do is just like iPhone dot ringtone, and then you will get the ringtone. So I'm gonna print it, and we will let you see what I mean. And now you can get the piano. You got it? So yeah, what I want you to do, you just type exactly what you have, what I do here in your PyCharm or your Repel it. And once you're done, we are going to move forward, and I'm going to explain to you how the class works. Okay, but first I want you to just do exactly what I did here. So you have a phone, you have a ringtone, and of course you can have the color. My phone's color is silver, so you can print iPhone dot color, so I can run it. So I can got piano and silver. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. I want you to finish this code, and please let me know once you're done and put it in the chat box. And once you're done, we are going to change this code into something else. So I put it here also, one, so you can have piano and silver. Okay. So remember that the first thing you have to be is like you have a class, right? And then you have a name for this class. It's like phone. But remember that we always do the first character is uppercase, so it's a caption, and we want the class always to be right like that way. The first one. It doesn't have to be. But it's good to follow this convention because we want to have the first character to be uppercase. And now you have two things here. Looks like they're variable, but they call properties for the class. Okay, so I want you to finish this code and let me know you're done. And you should get the same value I have, piano and silver. Hey, Bob, I'm pretty sure she should be working if you follow exactly what I typed here. If it's not working for you, can you just copy the whole thing and copy and paste and put it into the chat box so I can take a look? So let's just repeat it one more time because many people saying this doesn't work. So let me just see what they have. Let's see, copy and paste. Okay, so here we got one of the student and what they did. So they said doesn't work, right? So obviously the first thing you have to do is like your class name. The first one, it should be the uppercase. Okay, I want you to do uppercase, and of course here is uppercase. Your phone should be uppercase. Why? And I'm going to explain to you. And in here, the ringtone, we use equal here. Okay, it's equal. It's not column. So it's equal here. And after you change these two, I'm pretty sure it will work. Okay, you just change it to be equal instead of column. So because it's not dictionary, you didn't wrap it with the brace. So we use equal. Okay, and now you have the iPhone and phone. So you create a iPhone, and now you have the ringtone and color. All right, so I think that you need to correct your code. So let's just move forward. So what is a class? A class is a blueprint. And what is blueprint means? So let me just go to Google and I'm going to tell you what is blueprint means. So I am going to just iPhone. All right. So if I go to Google and I click here, so I have an iPhone, right? In here in this web page, and I have all the description about the iPhone, like how much for this iPhone, and like if you have iPhone, is the version is 12, and you can also have 5G is for the network, and you can have like the camera if you have ultra wide camera or something else. I don't know, but basically in this web page you have everything for the iPhone, but that is only a description, right? You can't go to just this website just get an iPhone. You have to go to the shopping mall and you pay for the you pay the store, and then they will give you a real iPhone. So the description over here, it doesn't mean really an iPhone. You have to go to pay for that. Like you click on this shop button and you pay for this iPhone, and they will mail you a real iPhone. And this picture doesn't look, it looks like an iPhone, but it's a picture. It's not an iPhone. You know what I mean? So we call this description, this just give you something, some idea, is like how the iPhone looks like, but it's not a real iPhone. So for the class exactly like that, and we just tell you this phone, what this phone have, and if you want to have the real iPhone, you have to initialize this iPhone and make it to be a real one. So we use this, calling this one the with the we call the initialize this one, and now you can get the iPhone. So we are going to change the class, and first I'm going to remove these two. Maybe I may just remove these two. Okay, why? Because I want to initialize the iPhone, because when you in the description and you said my iPhone should have something, but only for that iPhone, and for different iPhone they should have different feature, right? So first one, we want to have the initialization, so we call initialization, or you can call it constructor. So you can call constructor or initialization. Okay, but be aware that this class it may be very hard because it should be the next level. But today we are because it's the last lesson, I want you to learn something in advance. Okay, so in this class I can do a function here. It's like a function, and the function name you do 2 underscore 1 2 2 underscore init, okay, and 2 underscore. Now you have parenthesis and you type a cell. So what does it mean? It means this one is a constructor. And now in here, because I have a cell, okay, this cell, I will explain to you what is this cell mean. But here in this constructor, you do cell dot ringtone, okay, and let's just equal to ringtone, okay, equal to the ringtone. So now you pass the ringtone from the from this parameter. So you have to, oh, my typing is long, so I have to change to a ringtone. So you have the ringtone came from the parameter. So, and now you have the color, cell dot color, and of course the same, you come from the color. Okay, now after I change to this one, and I have to put the ringtone here because you ignore the first one, cell. Why? Because cell is this one, the cell is pointing to the real iPhone, the physical iPhone. I'm gonna show you like this one, the physical one. And in the class, in the class here, it's just the description, like in this web page. They just tell you, oh, in my my iPhone, I will have a ringtone and I will have a color. So I will have different color. So only when you go to the store, you get into the store and saying, hey, I want the iPhone with the ringtone is piano and the color is what kind of color we have. So here we have a bright color. So let's just do a bright color. Okay. So now you have new iPhone. So this iPhone, you will have the, now you can print the ringtone and the color. So let me just run it and you will see what happened. So I will get the ringtone is piano and the color is black. You got what I'm saying? So this class is just like a description for the phone. It's a template, or you say it's a blueprint or description, like they are selling something in the website, but it's not a real physical phone like this iPhone. You have to go to the store or you have to order online and they will mail you, or you pick it up from the store, and now you have the real iPhone, a real iPhone. But before you order your phone, you have to tell them, hey, I want my ringtone is a piano one and the color is black one. And now when you got your new iPhone, you will have the ringtone and you will have the color. So that's what I want you to do. You just change your code from the original one. So make sure you have the function here, def, and you have the initialize is called to underscore. Remember, it's double underscore at the beginning and double underscore at the end. So you have to underscore initial to underscore, and now you have a parenthesis here. And make sure you have the cell here, SELF, cell here. Now this cell can be have a ringtone like a variable, but is attached to this cell. And there's a color and is attached to this cell. You use the dot to attach it to this cell. And you pass the ringtone and the color from the parameters. So now you have a phone, and you put piano and black, and it will initialize your phone. Like you buy a new phone, and the first time you need to set it up, and it will become your own iPhone, right? You put a name or something like that, so you will have the iPhone. And now you can print it out and see what your iPhone have. You have a ringtone, you have a color, something like that. So what I want you to do, just change your iPhone, like your phone, like this way. And once you're done, we are going to move forward and add more method or function into this iPhone, because my iPhone should have a lot of apps, and I have a network, maybe from Telus or from Son, or from Roger, so some network. So we are going to continue to build up our phone, but first I want you to just change your code to be this way. And after you got it, and we are going to move forward. And please let me know once you're done. And once you're done, please put a message in the chat box so we can move forward. Hey Gary, if there's something wrong with the code, please just copy and paste and put it in the chat box so I can take a look. Okay, so just make sure you have two space on the line, the second line, or four space. Either two space or four space is up to you. And inside here, because it's a function, right? So you again you have four space or two space just from this D all the way here. So if you know in the Python, because they don't know how the block end, that's why they just move everything just have some indentation move from here, so the program know that is a block. So once you do finish this class, like in the line 7, you have to start from the first one, the first character. Okay, just make sure about that. So once again, if you're done, please let me know. And yeah, you should like me. And once you do print, you should print a piano, and the color is black. Okay, so you know your iPhone is different color. Like you can change the color here because the second parameter is color, and the first one is the ringtone. So it's piano, or you can change to different ringtone like Flu or TikTok or something. It's up to you, but just the ringtone, right? There's some color or something like that. Okay, now of course we can install some app, right? So let's just add one more properties here. So I'm going to add self dot apps. Let's just say apps. Okay, and this time I make it as links. So maybe let's just make it as a dictionary. Okay. So why is a dictionary? Because your app have your apps should have a name, right? And also I will have some photos. So let's do self dot photos. And photos is a link, so you have take a lot of photos for in your iPhone. And now you have this one, you have apps and photos. So you add these two, and now your iPhone can install some apps, or you can have photos, take a picture, right? So let's just define the second method, or you said is a function inside the class, is a method. And now again, I have 4 space from the beginning. Now def, let's separate a little bit. Now you said install, just install, okay? Now you have maybe just make it simple, just add. Maybe just what's the best name? Let's say just install. Okay, just install. And now install, and you with the parentheses here, and remember the first parameter always be cell, and now you have the app name, app name, okay, app name. And now if you already have the app name and you want to install it, so what's that? My first app want to install, so you install, you will have the apps. This apps is a dictionary, right? It's a dictionary. So in a dictionary, like in a dictionary. So you have the let's see. Let me see. In a dictionary, should I have a dictionary? Let's just go back to the public free school. Give me a second. And I'm going to show you Python because it's a dictionary. Where my Python come? A dictionary. So in a dictionaries, you should if you want to add item into the dictionary. So how are we going to add it? Okay, so I guess they don't talk about that. So you have an app name, and you may have the description here. Let's say what's the app do, right? The app function, something like that. App function. Let's see, like that. So you have two parameters from the install. So you want to install an app name, yeah, equal to app function. So now I have a new iPhone. I want to install my first app. So how am I going to do that? We just have iPhone. Now install. You install a new app. What's the new app do? It's like, let's just do install an app called my first app. I want to have a Facebook. Okay, just have a Facebook app, and this one is for the function of this app is called chatting, just for chatting. Okay, now after I install it, and you have the apps install the apps in your iPhone. If you want to see it, and you can print iPhone.apps and something like that. Okay, guys. So first we have the install. We define a function called install, and we can install an app name. And now this app, what's this app do? And maybe chatting with my friends, something like that. Okay, or you can install a Instagram or something like that. So I'm gonna print it, so you'll see. I will let you see my result. So you have the first is the ringtone, is piano, and second is the color, is black. Now you have an apps. So you have iPhone, Facebook, and this Facebook apps is chatting with my friends. Okay, you got it? And I'm gonna install one more app. And what kind of app you like me to add? And if you have a name, you can put it in the chat box, so I can just do that one. 18 GB. So yeah, so I will do in iPhone.install. And since no one tell me what's the app name, so I'm going to install Google Map, maybe Google, maybe Discord. Okay, Discord. Okay, Discord. Just what the Discord do? Just gaming with my pals, something like that. And now you print it one more time, you will get the in the apps, you will get iPhone and Discord. and the function of them is like the Facebook is chatting with my friends and gaming with my pals. Yeah, of course you can install whatever app you want. And let's just take a look what we did. We create a new method. It's like a function. In this method, you define with the def, and you have a keyword called install. And now you have the first parameter always come with self, self. And now you have the app name, because you want, of course, you want the name called the app name. You know what I mean? You have to tell your iPhone what app you want to install. And once you install this iPhone, and this iPhone, this app should have some function, like you put a function into this dictionary. So then apps is a dictionary. And now after you buy the iPhone, and now you can install. You install the first app is Facebook, and second app is Discord. And once you are done, you print the iPhone.apps, so you can see what kind of apps in your iPhone. So just finish this code and let me know you're done. And after you are done, we are going to take some photos. Okay? Once you're done, please let me know, put a message in the chat box so we can move forward with one more method called take photos. Just make sure you define these two, okay? The apps and the photos, because you have to initialize your iPhone with the dictionary, and because so that your app can work. Okay, and then you have photos, and then there's links for the photos. All right. When you do the second method, make sure you have 4 space or 2 space in front of here, because you're under this class, and this is the class, and everything inside this class, they have to have at least 4 space or 2 space in front here, and now inside this install, again you have 2 space or 4 space from the D here, 2 space or 4 space from here. Okay, and you should double check your install function, wrap it with the parentheses, and you have the app name and the app function. And like what Gary or David told me, make sure you have apps, because you might have multiple apps, right? You don't have one app in your phone, otherwise you don't want to buy it. So that's why we put the S here. And again, in your photo album, you should have photos. You have multiple photos here. And now you have you get links, an empty links. There's nothing here, because when you buy the iPhone, there's no fake photos in your phone. So you have apps, phone. So now, once you have the method, and what you can do is just like you buy the iPhone, you buy the black color iPhone with the ringtone is piano, and now you have the iPhone here, the new one, brand new. You should install something. You install, first one is Facebook. Of course, Facebook is for chatting with your friends, right? Or maybe using something else. And you can install Discord and gaming with my pals. Or you can install WeChat or maybe you can install LOL, or maybe something else. I don't know, but a lot of game you can install in your phone. You just use this method, iPhone.install, and it will install into your iPhone. And once again, if you're done, please let me know, put a message in the chat box so we can move forward to add one more method to take the photos. All right, so I guess most of you guys have been done because you just an install method to install an app, right? So you can install into your iPhone, you install different apps. And now we are going to make another method called take photo. So again, the same, you just have 4 space in front and just with DEF, and now you have take photo or take picture, whatever you want, and with the parenthesis and do self, SELF, self. Now you have the photo, and in here just do self dot photos dot append, because it's a links, so you will append a photo into your photos, Now after you buy your phone and you install different apps, now you can use your iPhone dot take photo. You take the photo of your cat, okay, and now you can take one more photo, take photo of your dog, and also you can take photo of let's see, take photo of my keyboard, or maybe just like a tree. So once again, you can print it here, print iPhone dot photos. So after you buy an iPhone, you take some photos, like you take a photo of cat and dog and tree, and now you want to see what's inside your iPhone and what kind of photos you have. You just print iPhone dot photos, and now once you run it, and you should have in your iPhone, you should have a cat, dog, and tree. All right, so I want you to add this one more method into your class and take a whole bunch of photos, and now you see what's inside your iPhone, and that's the class in Python. All right, so that's it for today, and I guess that's the last lesson we have, and for the next term we will continue with the class, and we might it's time to do some challenging things to challenge the competition of Canada. So we will do computer competition questions, but hopefully you learn a lot from this class, and I want you to just do this code, and of course I will copy it and paste, put it into the WeChat group, and you can ask your parent to follow to download the image, and you can follow the code and try it out. Thank you so much for our class, and I think it's the last class for this term. Okay, for this term, because you are in the basic level. You got to be in the junior level, which means you're going to be more challenged. If you still want to do the basic level, we will still have the basic level in next term, and you can join us in the basic level. But if you feel, oh, I'm okay with the basic level and I want to move forward to the junior level, and then you can just go directly to the junior level for in the next term. Okay, so let me just copy this one, and I will email to put it into the WeChat group so your parent can work with you on this. I'm not sure, probably maybe next year or during this break. And if you have any question, and you can email me at health@dataarea.ca, and I am more welcome to answer you the question. And originally we will have the test for the last lesson, but since this term I am quite busy this month, so I will just skip it. And but anyway, if you have any question or anything you want to ask me, and for example, how to figure out this program, this problem, and just send me an email. All right. So yeah, I hope you can know what I'm talking about this class in Python, and because it's pretty important in Python programming. You should understand class. And in this class, we just have a few of methods, and there's some properties inside the construction, so you can install the first one. You initialize your ringtone and the color, and of course you can install some apps and photos, and hopefully you can install more apps for your iPhone. And of course, one more thing, you can buy one more phone, not just one phone. You can buy more phones, right? You can have iPhone 12, something like that. You just do one more iPhone, so something like sure, and the ringtone is ding dong, something like that. You can have iPhone 12, not just one iPhone. All right, and you can play with this iPhone 12, but it doesn't change this iPhone. So you can have two iPhones, one iPhone and two iPhones, and that's because that only the description of the iPhone, but you can buy more iPhone in this way. All right, so I think that's it for today for the basic level, and I'm going to continue with the junior level. Okay. Michael, you don't have to take a screenshot. I'm going to take it for you and put it in the WeChat your parents have it. And if in Math, you can do holding the Shift key and Command key and with the number 4 all together. All right. Okay. So now we are going to be the junior level. If you are ready, please let me know and put a message in the chat box so we can move forward with the junior level. Hey guys, it's time for the junior level. Now, what I want you to do, just go back to the project we have last week. So we do with the walking guy, right? So now, if you open the project like in a Visual Studio, and you should have something like this. And I used Chrome, and I turn on my Chrome. In my Chrome, and you just go to the index.html because I put it in the desktop, and my folder is called cameras. But it's up to you. You have different folder name, right? But make sure you open the index.html. Now you open it. And if I start the game, and this guy should be walking, continue to walking, and all the way down to the end. All right. And if you don't have the have this project, or you have some difficulty to make this project, and you should go to my repository and in the repo. So I'm going to share with you guys. Okay. So I'm going to share with you guys. Just copy. And now I paste here. If you don't have the program, you can go to this repository. You can book in the repo. So once you have this one, and you can run. Now you can start the game, and this guy just keep walking. And of course, you can copy this code if you have some problem with that. You copy all of them and paste into your project, like paste in your Visual Studio code in this project, and you should be exactly what you have. Just like walking guy, just keep walking. And I know some of you guys have some picture like walk 1, 2, all the way to the 15, and you have some problem because most of you guys didn't put them into the folder called PNG. Okay, you didn't put it into PNG, so that's why they cannot find it. If you put it in the first level in this folder without the PNG, you can remove the PNG. You can remove it, so you still can find it. But since I put it into the PNG folder, you should be able to just use the PNG. Okay, use the PNG. PNG here is just a folder. You can go PNG or you can have images, just a folder name. All right. So that's what I want you to do, but I prefer to use the Visual Studio Code. I prefer to use the Visual Studio Code because that is more professional, and I would suggest you to install the Visual Studio Code in your machine. And you use Visual Studio Code to do that. All right. So let's just go back to the coding from last week and what we did. So we make an animation and like this, but these characters, they keep walking to different direction. I mean one direction here, just keep walking. So if you go back to your project and you click on the main.js, and of course you in your let's go back to my repo. You might have the file is called script.js instead of main.js. You may have script.js, okay? But it really doesn't matter because this script.js or main.js is just a file with the extension called .js. What you need to do, just like you link it with in here, use a script element, just link it to the script.js, link it over there to here, okay? If it is a main.js, just you change script to main.js. In this way, you can link the file into the index.html. Like this style.css, you just come over here and link it. Use the link to link it to the style.css. But for the script, you use script, this element in HTML, just link it to here, okay? Not a big deal, so just a different file name, but make sure in your index.html you can connect them to the main.js JS. All right, so let's see what we did last time. So first we have the button called start game, right? Like most of the game, you can start it, you click on the button if you start your game. And now you have a canvas, which means inside this canvas you can draw something in the canvas. I make it really big, like 2000 pixel by 1000 pixel high, and I give it an ID called my canvas in the HTML. Now below here I have a whole bunch of image, and I just have walk from 1 to 15. And of course, in my PNG, I have a lot of characters, different image like jump. You can see jump, different characters. If you're pretty sure you'll know how to do that, and you can just change walk to the different action. But here I just use walks, and that's why I wrote all the walks picture and use the image tab here and assign each ID. Like the first one is walk 1 and the second one is walk 2, and so all the way to walk 15. But don't forget to change the picture because you want each of them looks different, right? They have different frame to show you the animation, and I don't want to show up in my web page. So that's why I use display none, just like hiding it. Just the people cannot see it because this display none is like invisible. So in the style, so I use display none. And once I click the game, start game, so I will call a function called start game. So in JavaScript, it's just like start game is a function name. You got to have the parentheses, and now you call this function called start game. And usually I would like to put the semi-commas here because it's just like some convention. So you don't really need to have the semi-commas on here, but unless you want to write more code behind it. So I would suggest you follow this convention, just put a semi-commas here. It would be better for everyone to read it. So you have calling the start game this function, which is in your main.js in here, in this script. Okay, so you will call this function. All right, so the whole big function here. And at the beginning of this function, we just call some simple stuff. First one, we use the document.get element by ID. The ID is my canvas, which is my canvas, of course, is the ID canvas. All right. So, and the second thing is you have the canvas. In the canvas, there's a 2D context. All right. So, of course, there's 3D, but here we are playing with 2D. So you have to have the context and put it into the variable called ctx. It's a variable name. So it's a context for the in the canvas. So we can use the context to draw something inside this canvas. So you have the context. Okay. Now I define the first function. It's called start game, which is when you click the start game, it will come over here and you will start the game. After we start the game, we have an array, like Python is a list. So this variable will have all the items, and these items basically is like the ID. Again, is document get element by ID. You got this ID, walk1. So what is walk1? What is walk1? So you go back to index.html. You look for the ID. It's walk1. So you get the first image. So I put the first image and second image and third image all the way to fitting the image fitting. So they're all just image, but you put it into the a variable called walks. Walks is an array. All right. In this array, and why we put it into the array? Because I want to access each item by the index, right? And now we are going to define something called render. And before that, we define some index. The first one is the index, which means you can access which items here. Now the second one is x, and the third one is y. X and y is the position of your character, like my character here. So I think he is walk away. So he is here, and the position x and y is on this corner, like this corner, this corner. You know what I mean? It's like this picture, right? Think about that is a rectangle. So in the rectangle, there's the top left corner, and that is the position I'm talking about, right? So that is the x and y position. And now let's go back here on the x and y, and we have the define a function called render. And now we call some function in JavaScript. It's called setInterval. So this function is like the first parameter is a function, and the second one is the how many minutes. So like timeout, or how many minutes or seconds or milliseconds. We'll call this function. So like here I define 200, which means every 200, every time 200, let's say 200 milliseconds, if you call this function, the render function. Okay, so let's say in 1 second, so it will call 5 times. Why? Because 1 second is 1000 milliseconds. Okay, and for the human eyes you can do human eyes is like 1 second you can have 60 frame, like, you know what I mean? You can have 60 frame, so which means our eyes can you can see 60 frames, so which means your character would be your animation will be more smooth. Okay, so let me just change to 60 to see what happened here. So now it is walking really fast, right? Because keep walking, something like that. Because every time you will call this render function, it just keep moving, and the x will add 2, and the y will just add 1. All right. So you in this render function, first you will clear the whole context, the whole canvas. So that's why you use the CTX, which means is this context, 2D context, and you clear from 0, 0, which means is the top left corner, to the width, which is 2000, and the high is 1000. You clear the whole things. Okay, now you can draw the walks, draw the picture, and which picture you are going to draw, and you calling this array walks, and you get the index. First one is 0, and now you get this one. Okay, and now in which position you are going to draw is x is 0, y is 0, and how big the drawing is 200 by 200, just like 200 by 200, but you can't see it, but because maybe like this big, 200 by 200. Okay, and after you draw one frame, you keep doing the second one, index plus plus, just add one more to the index, so it will draw the second one, walk 2, and again if it just keep moving with different frame until you will go to the fitting. After the fitting, I want you to go back to the 0, like this one, like, you know what I mean? So that's why your index won't go out from the fitting, so you can keep doing one thing. And you have the index, if index is greater than 15, greater than 14, because the index should be 14 here, so you reset the index to be 0. Okay, and the x and y increase, and so your character can keep moving. So what I did here is just like I changed to this value from 200, which means for 1 second divide by 60, which is a lot more faster, and make your character just keep moving really fast, because every time it will render this one for you. All right. Okay, so today we are going to do something special. The first thing is I want to have the mouse. If you have the mouse here, and your character should come over to your mouse, and if your mouse over here, it will come over to this mouse. All right, so how can we get the mouse position? Okay, so that's the first thing we want to know, how to get the mouse position. All right, so first thing, I want you to go all the way down here from the beginning, not inside the brace. Let me just change to 100, something like that, instead of 60, maybe annoying. Oh, It's more fast. Let's just do 300 something. Yeah, kind of slow. A bit slow. 600, 60, 80, 100. All right. So yeah, I changed it to 120. So make it a bit slower. Otherwise, it just run away. Okay. So in here, I want you to do one more things to get the mouse position. So how to get the mouse position in JavaScript? So here you will do C dot add event listener, okay, and use this function add event listener. What is C? C is just like our canvas, like this, my canvas. In this canvas, I will add an event listener, so it can listen to my mouse, listen to some event. Okay, you add C dot add event listener. So the first one is define something called mouse move, which is mouse move is one of the event. And if the mouse move, we will call a function. Let's say a function called give it a name. You can do a function name called mouse position. Okay, MPOS just stand for mouse position, just a name. Okay, so now you define a function called MPOS, just mouse function, and now you have event, because every time the mouse move, it will trigger an event to call this function. Okay, that's how the JavaScript works. So now I define this function called event MPOS, this event, and in this event, and you can get something from this event, the position of the mouse. So let me double check. Yeah, we have the client X. So in this event, you will have the mouse position. So I'm going to show you, like the Python in print, you will do the console log. So you will have event dot client X, something like that, and console dot log event dot client Y. Okay, so which means the current position of your mouse, X and Y. And if I refresh my game and then I right click and I go to the console, you will see if I'm moving my mouse, and it will tell you the position of your mouse in this canvas. You got what I'm saying? If I'm moving here, and of course in here is 0, right? It's pretty close to is 0. So something like that in here. It's pretty close to 0 because my canvas is like this. So it's close to 100 or something. If you move it, you keep moving, it's something like this. So what I want you to do, just in your script, go all the way down to the end. You add in your canvas, you add a event listener, and the event is mouse move, and you have the function name called MPOS. It's up to you the name, but you have to be, this name should be the same like this name. In JavaScript, you have function MPOS, and the first parameter should be event. And now you have console.log. It's just like a print to print out your position, like client X and Y. X and Y. Okay, it's capital X, capital Y. The rest of them is client X and Y. Okay, so once you're done with this, please let me know, and we will continue to do some calculation for our the mouse, the canvas. So, but first you have to capture where's your mouse. No, there's no test game .js. The test game .js is just my my backup in case I cannot remember the function name. Okay, you don't need the test game .js. It's just my cheat sheet, just like for my note in case I don't remember the function name, because some of the name is hard to remember, like add event listener is too long, so I cannot remember that, so I put it there. Okay, so what I want you to do is just have this one called c.addEventListener, and the event is mouse move, and if you keep calling this function, now you should show the event dot client X and event dot client Y. Okay, and it will capture the mouse. Where's your mouse? The position of your mouse. All right. Once you're done, please let me know and put it into the chat box so I can move forward with more code. Yeah, that's annoying. All right, I think most of you guys have been done, because that is pretty easy and straightforward, right? But one more thing I want you to do is like, you know what? This X and Y, client X and Y, it calculate from here. I'll show you what I mean. It calculate from this corner, your page corner, this page corner. But your canvas is from here under your stars. You start game, right? If you want to know the position from this corner, your canvas corner, right? You have to do some math. You know what I mean? Like for example, if you want to know, let me draw something and help you understand. Let me draw something. I use a word. maybe like that. Let me do like that. Let me see where okay. So let me draw something here. Let's see. For example, you have let me see. So that is your web page, right? That's your web page. This the whole thing is your web page, and you have the canvas over here. So I'm going to draw my canvas. So that's your game canvas. Let's just make it like bright. Okay. So that's the canvas. Okay. So but your mouse, like for example, your mouse is on I don't know. Let's just have a dog here. So let's assume your mouse is here, okay? And this mouse is here. And they will give you a X, like X is like here, this X. From here to here, X. And the Y is from here to here, that's Y. So you have X and Y. But if you said, hey, I want to know from here to here, how could I know this and here, right? This calculation, to do this calculation. So you got to know this point, you know, this bright canvas on this corner. You just need to know this X and Y. So you have the current X, subtract this X, so you get this one. And if you want to know the Y, you have this Y, subtract from here, this Y to from here. So now you get the X and Y position from this original point. Okay, you got what I mean? So that's why we have to get the canvas position. So let's just go to get the canvas position. So again, I might forgot the canvas position. You will have this function called get bonding client rectangle. But anyway, you just like you define a variable first. You would have the a canvas position. I would say rectangle equal to C. C is our canvas. Dot is our canvas. Is this canvas, my canvas. You will use this method called get bonding client rectangle. That one will give you the the position of the bright X and Y. This one, this position, this X and Y. Okay, if you do this, and it will give you the X and Y. All right. So so the rectangle top, the rectangle left is the X, top is Y. Okay, left is X, top is Y. So which means I want to know this, how far away from this corner, how far away from this edge, which is you use the rectangle left. Okay, so it's rectangle dot left. Okay, if the Y is rectangle dot top. Okay, so if you want to know the mouse X and Y against the the canvas. So we will define a variable called mouse x equal to 0. Let's assume it's from 0, and mouse y equal to 0. Now you have the x and y, mouse x and y. So you would say, hey, my mouse x equal to the client x, which is your current mouse x, subtract the left, the canvas x, and also the mouse y equal to event dot client y subtract the rectangle top. So now I can make this one, and here I may just have mouse x and mouse y. All right, so you have mouse x and mouse y. And again, I just go back to the game, and I will show you if it's working or not. So I just save, and now again you can see is again is just doing some calculation. But this time, if you're getting close to this corner, you should get 0 and 0. Okay, you know what I mean, because your canvas is from there. If you over, maybe can get -1, but because that is your canvas, okay, in here. But you can do a border here and you see more clear, but I didn't have it. But you're pretty sure you're close to here. You got 1 or 2 or something like that. So I go back to the code and I let you guys continue with this code. And I just define 2 variables. One is mouse x, one is mouse y. So x and y is why I need the mouse x and y, because I want to do some math. So first, my mouse client x subtract the rectangle left equal to mouse x, which means is like from the canvas laptop to your mouse is mouse x. And now you have client y subtract top to mouse y. Okay, so what I want you to do, just change to this 3 line of code. Okay, and this 2 variable. Make sure you define the variable outside of your function. So you have the variable, and you have event dot client x subtract left and client y subtract top. So you can get mouse x and mouse y, mouse x and mouse y. And once you're done, please let me know, because after we do this calculation, we definitely can change this x and y. You know what I mean? And now you know your mouse position, and of course you can change the where your character will walk to. Okay, once you're done, please let me know. And you have you should have the mouse x and mouse y ready. right? So make sure you have mouse X and Y, and mouse X and Y should be do some subtraction, and make sure you subtract client X, subtract left, client Y, subtract top, and red is from your canvas calling the get bounding client with red. This is a rectangle, so the rectangle left and the top is the size of your the original position of your canvas, and from this canvas you can just do some subtraction, so you can do you can get the position of your mouse, position of your mouse from this corner, okay, this corner. This one is X, this one is Y. Okay. You should, because we didn't change anything. Your start game should be here, right? The start game button should be here. We never changed that. We didn't change the index.html. You should always have the start game over there. Okay, so if you refresh, just you have the start game over here. Never change it. So if you have some problem, and probably you just make sure you have the button here, and on click start game, something like that, and you will have it. You should have it. So if you have the problem with this, you just go back to my repository and copy this repository. You just go to this repository, you go to the index.html, you just highlight everything, Control All. Now you just copy the whole thing and paste into your in your project or whatever, right? But you have to click run, right? This, if you don't click run, you have to click run, something like that. I don't know, but yeah. Okay, so I think most of you guys have been done, and you should have the X and Y. Keep moving, and now it's time to do some calculation for your in my repo. It's not there. Yeah, because you guys keep changing it, so I don't think that's a good idea. Repair. So let's just my three walking guy. So if you see, it should be here. Start game is over here. All right. Oh, because someone just changed the width to this one. Don't change it to that. Okay, just keep it to 2000, something like that. Okay. Now this time, if you click, let me see, PNG, mouse move, and bounce. So that's correct. Okay, so let's just comment out these two, and now run it one more time. Now, yeah, maybe you just comment out this, remove these two, and now you should have it. Okay, I guess because in repo it's just too many calculation, it doesn't show up here. So all right? And these guys just keep moving like that. Now you should have the comment out these two, because you don't need it. You just like print and to do the debug. Okay. Now I think most of you guys have been done here. So let's just do some calculation in the render function, because we have the x and y for the image, right? So the calculation is like that. If if your mouse is on the right side of your character, which is x, so which means your mouse x, it should be greater than the x of your character, and it should be moving towards your mouse. You know what I mean? So let's just change like this. If mouse x is greater than or greater equal to x, so you should be x equal to x plus 2, okay? Otherwise, else, you should have x equal to x subtract 2, just going backward. Because if the mouse is on the other side of your character, they should go backward. All right, so I remove this line. You should have the x plus 2, x subtract 2, right? Because if the mouse x is greater than the x, we should go forward. If it's less than the x, your character, your mouse is on the left side of your character, and you should go backward. So let's just save, and you go back to your screen and you refresh. Now this time you click one time start, so your character should be start and walking here. But if you go move your mouse on this side, it should be walking back. You know what I mean? You go here in walking from this side, okay, and it's go this side, you should be walking back. You know what I mean? And now that's for the x, right? The x. So I will change also for the y. If let's just do if mouse y is greater than or equal to y, which let's just, now your y should be your y should be plus 1, okay? Otherwise, your y should subtract 1. You know what I mean? You just like go backward, but they go up. If your y is plus 1, you just go down. Okay, with this change, let's see what happened. I refresh, save, and refresh, and click start. So this guy just keep walking on to my mouse. And now if I go this side, it will go back to my mouse. Okay, if you go here, it just keep walking to my mouse. So let me just make it moving more fast. Like last time, I changed to 120, right? So let's just change to 500 something. 500 is too fast, but let's just do 300. Let's do 400, see how far it goes. So I go 400, save. Now I refresh and start game. What? It's still slow. Why? Oh yeah, less means more fast. Sorry about that. So I may do let's do 80. Okay, 80 and see what happens. refresh. Yeah, much more better. It's like walking faster than before. But this time it won't go if you put it back, and it will go back here. If you go back here on your left side, right side, and the walking guide will walk to your mouse. Okay, like this. You walk here and walk here, and of course you can change the step, like 2 to 4 and 1 to 2. Like, let me just adjust this speed, and I will let you have the code. So let me change the speed and down. Yeah, now I think it's much more better. All right, so yeah, so see what we did here, because we have mouse X and Y. That's why we can do some calculation. Mouse X is greater than the character X, which means that your mouse is on the right side of your character, and that's why we just keep move forwarding to your mouse, because X is great. +4, it means the X is continue to grow. If your mouse is on your left side of your character, and we subtract 4, which means your character will go backward. The same to do the Y. If your mouse is on the bottom of your character, so it will continue to walk through, just +2. And if your mouse is on top of your character, it should go backward, go up. So with this small script, like this calculation, and your character should be walk all the way to your mouse. Okay, I want you to finish this code and just test it in your console, your canvas, and see it work or not. All right. And once you're done, please let me know. And we are good, almost done today. And of course, if you want to make it faster, so you can change how fast it walks. And if you want to make it more smooth, you can change this number, because it's how many milliseconds if for one frame. You know what I mean? So that's yeah, that is the, it just you can adjust these two, but it's up to you. But yeah, it's really up to you. But this number is control how fast your character can walk and go back and up, and this one is or each frame, how fast it go. Okay. Alright, so once you are done, you can change this mouse move. If you like, I'm gonna show you like here, right? So you see, when you're playing the game, you don't want this guy just keep chasing your mouse. You don't want it to do that, right? Yeah, Helen, I will put the code into the repel. Don't worry about that. Alright, so what I want you to do, just like change this mouse move to click. If they walk out from the canvas, they will continue to walk. It really doesn't matter, just continue to walk. See, it's just go out and now you come back, right? Even they are out of the canvas. Because when we do the calculation, if this mouse is out of the canvas, they will, the maximum value of this mouse is this point. Right now, yeah, that is chasing your mouse. They are chasing this mouse, so you don't want that, right? Because that is only for fun. In the game, you don't really want them to chasing your mouse. You want to click this point and want to go over here. So what you need to do is just change this mouse move to click. That's the last thing I want you to do. Just change mouse move to click. So which means when you start the game, you click here, and this guy will go to that click. All right. So if you click here, and it will come over here. So most of the game, like the strategy game, they will do like that. You click, and then they will come. And you click, they will come. Click, they will come. They click, they will come. Something like this. You go, I mean. So if you have a character you want it to go, you click and then let them to just walk to this point. In you click, you go to this point. And of course you can change your mouse pointer if you like in CSS. But yeah, if you don't click it, and it just like they are just like, you know what, they are just like staying here. So it's kind of weird, but yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird because you keep walking, right? So that's why you have some more image like idle. So you can let him just stand there for a while if your mouse doesn't move, something like that. If you're good at do the calculation, you're thinking, hey, if my mouse doesn't if these x and y equal to mouse x and y, or pretty close to x and y, you are not going to do walks. You are going to do idle. Okay, so it will stand there and doesn't walk. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it just keep walking. Even it's standing here, it's just keep walking. But it should be idle here. So that's why they give you a whole bunch of things on that. So yeah, Michael, if you want to put a background, what you need to do is just like you just like before your game, this start game, right? You just like draw a big picture in the whole whole canvas. Let me show you what I mean. So that's you just copy this one, and at the beginning of your game here, you will draw a big picture, a really big picture. If I download a picture, image, game, background, something like that. Like, let's do this one. Copy. Might save my picture, something like that. Desktop, into canvas. So I will say, change the name to BG, something like that. Yeah, but you don't have to do that. But yeah, now I should have the BG over here, right? So that's what you want. And now you just one more thing, just add image ID equal to, you give it the ID BG source equal to, and now you choose the BG and style, and just display none. Now you have it here in your game assets. You go back to here, and now you can just draw a picture. You just draw a picture like background picture equal to document get element by ID. The ID is background because here is the background, right? That's background. And now you just draw the picture background here, and X is 0, Y is 0, and this one is 2000 and this one is 1000. But yeah, you if you don't want to hard code it, you can just use this one, the width and the height, something like that. Now once you start your game, oops. Oh, because you create it every time, so you will draw it in here inside your render after the create. Okay, after the create, so you draw it first, and now so you something like that. So you know what I mean. Just, and you don't have to make your canvas so big. Like I may make it like 600 by 400 high, so it will be much more better. So something like that. So yeah, it's up to you. Okay, you just like you add the image and you give it an ID called background, and every time you of course you have to load it, right? You get the background, you load this one, and now every time when you render, you just draw the whole things. Okay, draw the whole image, background image to here. So, all right, so yeah, I think that's it for today, and I think that's the last lesson of this term. So I will see you in the next term. Okay, see you next time. Bye. Yeah, sure. I will add it here. So I guess I have to add. Oops. Let's upload one file, background, and put it here. So you have a background, right? And what you need to do, just in the index.html, you load this image. Okay, put it in the last one here. And now in your script file, so before you walk, you just you will load up this background. And just here, you load it up. Now in every time when you render, come here. So you just draw the whole picture. You draw the whole picture here. Okay. And once you're done, you just run it. Now you start the game. It's just walking, but so something like that. Don't know why it's not controlled by myself, because yeah, obviously you guys didn't change here. So let me just change that. SX1, SX1. So I just changed here. Let's make the screen is smaller. So I will change to 600 to 400. And run it one more time. Now, yeah. Okay. Yeah, if the here's mouse move, right? You can change it to click. Yeah, you run it. Oh, that's not run. That's unreal. Now run it. Now it will walk from here to here. And walk from here to here. Walk from here to here. Okay. If you think that's too slow, just change it to 180 and see. Okay, so that's it for today. If you want to continue with this game and just do more calculation, okay? Yeah, it's about math. So the game is about math and about how to design your character. So that's what we do the game. So see you next time. You're welcome.